Local business owners, 40 years old or younger, this is for you. Hi, I'm Joe Hedgecorth, and I'm going to tell you a story about the shift in the local residences that's impacting your new business base. And I'm talking about new business. Dear local business owner, if you're over 40, you don't want to waste your time watching this video. I know I've surveyed more business owners than I care to mention and know a lot of your views. Based on those survey results, this probably won't provide you anything you're interested in. Toward the end, I'll provide 7 reasons. If you're like most, you don't like the concept of altering anything about your business model, I'm sure. Why? It's working just fine. You don't feel making more profit and thus increasing your income from your business is worth changing anything in your business. It's doing just fine. Good help is hard to come by, takes too much time to develop into what is right for your business, and once developed, often those guys, those women, they leave for opportunities to make more money. Doing anything different, especially right now, would create more work and headaches for you. Hiring, training new employees, adding more hard assets, including more space for the business, more management, both in personnel and in tracking what's going on with the business and its employees, are conceived to be the trade-offs. Simply put, the headache of any expansion activities and the return on investment of any expansion are simply not worth it right now. It seems. There's actually a flaw in this viewpoint, and I don't say that to offend. Bear with me a minute, I'll explain and get into an incredibly important piece of information if you care to find out. About 1.5 million new businesses are opened every year in the US, and this is nearly double what it was during the slow years 5 and 10 years ago. On the other side of the coins, about 1.2 million businesses close every year, based on a long-term average of openings to closings. And these closings are of businesses of all longevity. Sure, it's well known that most startups close in their first 2 years, but this still leaves hundreds of thousands that close every year. Businesses that are 3 years old to 100 years old. Think of how Sears and Kodak are now. And that's not because department stores and photos are not what people spend money on anymore. Actually, it's the reverse. This is a Target. But more on that in a moment. Did you know there are only 72 businesses 200 years old or older in the US? Each one survived out of about 1 million others that didn't. There's been approximately 75 million businesses since America started in business 500 years ago. There's been businesses servicing the local people, exactly what you do, in America for over 500 years. And yet the number of companies servicing local people, the companies over 200 years old, is probably 27. Though another 26 or a few more started out specifically to service their local people. I was astounded when I found the age of the oldest company. I'll tell you how old and who they are in a moment. As well, I'll tell you one company that is 223 years old that, until about 20 years ago, every child worked with. Due to technology, not so much anymore. But first, your business. There's a monumental shift occurring in the marketplace that's vital you find out about or suffer the fate of. Well, Sears, for example, and Kodak, Howard Johnson's restaurant franchises, and neon sign fabricators and installers, and blade sharpening shops, and the rapidly approaching demise of the taxicab services. I'm sure you can think of local businesses that no longer exist in your town because the technology changed and they didn't. Or a leading business in your niche just closed up shop. Or they faded away, the leading company. Your business must find out this one something. I'm talking about a 21st century development that will change the landscape of local businesses over the next year or two or three. No exaggeration. It's artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is in its formative stage for general public use. You see, it's used mostly in your handheld phones, but they're just the start of its imminent pervasion into daily life. But AI has recently turned the corner and has now evolved beyond what Siri and Cortana and Google Ask have been giving you. It's now in millions of homes via Alexa. Alexa, your Amazon Echo's genie in the bottle. Can and does make getting information on local businesses a 5-second verbal request. While the Alexa owner can be up to their shoulders in taking care of an emergency, or while getting dressed, or showering, or waking up from a night of sleep. Anytime, any place within the home with the owner in the process of doing just about anything. No keyboard, and users don't get the undesired liability of only getting a response that only returns the top SEO perfected businesses. Service providers that may be, but likely aren't, the perfect match to the user's requests. In today's world, information is expected to be only a request away, and the faster the better, with the least amount of effort and the most relevant. These are the standards that are expected to be met. Alexa is head and shoulders above Siri, Cortana, and Google Ask in regards to results and particularly for a local service. Plus, Alexa will only grow and widen that gap into the future. There are 7 reasons that your business must remain relevant in the local neighborhood marketplace. They are: first, do you know many people or anyone that doesn't have an iPhone, smartphone in their hand more than they know they should? Second, how many of your current new customers are likely to look to the internet more and more for your service as the months and years fly by? Third, if, and this is a very speculative if, but if there was a law that all passenger travel must be done in vehicles with at least 3 passengers, and there was no need to expend any of your money or energy on it, and it was a good fit for you, would you start a taxi cab business in your community? Why not? The demand would be there, right? Fourth, do you stay current with all equipment and employee training for new processes in your service niche? Do you still use a nail claw framing hammers or a ring up cash register? Fifth, do you think that Kodak, AOL, Blockbuster, and BlackBerry all had the same board of director members? We're talking upwards of $500 billion altogether of equity that vanished over a couple of years in each case. Sixth, do all your new customers, clients just know that you are who they want for your service and know exactly how to make contact with you? Seventh and last, when, if ever, was the last time you used the yellow pages and a dial-up phone in your home in an emergency to get service? 20 years ago? 15? 10? Your business can benefit by being known about by Alexa. But you need to take action now and not tomorrow or next week. You can see the reasons for Alexa if you click the button. Clicking it, there will be a second video that explains why this is revolutionizing one aspect of the service industry. Oh, and before I forget, the oldest company in America is Shirley Plantation, a still active growing plantation in Charles City County, Virginia, on the north side of the James River, which is 405 years old, starting as a plantation for tobacco in 1613. Times have changed and tobacco is no longer the crop. The 11th generation of the Carter Hill family reside in the Great House, which was finished in 1738 after 15 years of construction, with the original Hill House from 1638 remaining until the late 1860s. And for the child's tool, the Dixon Ticonderoga yellow pencils have been in production since 1815. Dixon, part of the company, established in 1795, merged with another company in Ticonderoga, New York, when they started producing the pencils in 1815 and remained Dixon. The production of the pencils in the U.S. ceased in 1999, but are still produced by facilities in other countries. And obviously computer training in schools have really diminished the use of these pencils by the kids. The Dixon Company was acquired by a Milan, Italy company in 2008, but still is known as Dixon and still sells in the United States. Again, so that your business remains in the running to be at least 200 years old, just joking, sorta. You should watch the next video. It will be something you would never thought of, but that makes a lot of sense.